So we're going to kick off the second half of today. We're going to talk about Google+. So Google+ is, of course, the new kid on the block, as I said before. And so, a lot of people don't really understand exactly what Google+ is, or what it does, or what it's good for, or what have you. So basically, I'm going to walk you through Google+ a little bit here, and just kind of explain what it is and what it does. And so Google+ is obviously owned by Google, and it is theoretically their Facebook killer. Ooh, Facebook killer. And so in Google+, instead of friends or followers, you have something called circles. And so you have people that are able to add you to circles, and then you're able to add people to circles, and vice versa, right? So inside of the circle, it's more of a choice relationship that they have. So basically, as opposed to Facebook, where somebody has to like you, and then they have the option to either see your feed or whatever, or if you have people that like your page, you can't necessarily control which group of those people get to see your updates and so forth. You can't really target updates to certain people inside of Facebook. Twitter, much the same way. You have one group of followers, and when you broadcast something, everybody sees it, whether they want to or not. But as we know, we have a diverse crowd of people that follow us, most likely. For instance, I teach a variety of different things. I teach Photoshop, I teach Illustrator, InDesign, WordPress, social media. I teach all of these different things, right? So you may come to me wanting to learn one thing, but not give a rip about the others. There's a huge group of people that follow me for my Photoshop training because of the fact that I do a podcast on Photoshop, and I've done these DVDs and what have you. So Google+ allows me to build circles around certain topics. And so in those circles, then I can target my updates to only certain communities. So for instance, in Google+, a lot of times I'll do a public update just because, if it's something that I feel, needs to be a public update, I'll put that out there. But if I'm doing something that's very specifically targeted towards one given market, I will then broadcast it only to my WordPress circle, or only to my Photoshop circle, or only to my photography circle, or whatever that might be. All right, now it doesn't necessarily mean that everybody else isn't going to see it, because they might be able to see it. Other people might share it, other people might +1 it, or something like that. And +1s, by the way, are the like button of Google+. So you have a +1, and then reshare is the same thing as retweet, or something like that. All right. And so on Google+, this is the basic profile, and you get a Google+ profile by having a Gmail address or a Google email address through Google Apps or something like that. So if you use Google Apps or a Gmail address, you can get a Google+ account. And once you get it set up, you're going to be brought into Google+, much like this. And so you have the ability, this is the area that you have the ability to customize, okay? This in your profile picture. The cool thing I like about Google+ is the fact that, on Facebook, when you click somebody's profile picture, it pops up this big light box full of images and stuff. In Google+, it doesn't do that. It's just a little flip thing. I don't have any other photos besides this one here. But when you go to somebody's profile and click it, it flips through the individual photos that they have for their profile picture. It's very short, sweet, and concise. It doesn't take over my screen or anything like that, so I can just kind of page through. These photos right here are something called your scrapbook, and I'm going to show you in a minute how to customize your scrapbook so that you can kind of showcase your work or showcase something at the top. You'll also notice here that there's several different things you can add to your Google+ profile. Over here on the left, you can change who's visible over there. I have all mine turned off just for the sake of privacy of the people who have me in their circles and whatnot. I don't want to, put them out on Front Street if I don't have to today. And basically what you can do over there is show people who has you in a circle, and you can also show people who you have in circles. You can also do something called share a circle on Google+. And so inside of Google+, you can share a circle, and then people can see who you follow. So for instance, if I go into my circles here, and I'll just go in here to my circles, and I've got, friends, family, Adobe community, I've got entrepreneurs, I've got a Photoshop circle, I've got several different circles that I use. So let's say, for instance, I have a WordPress community circle, okay? So I'm going to open up this circle so you can see everybody that I have inside of my WordPress community circle. These are all thought leaders, theme designers, plugin makers, all that kind of stuff that I choose to follow here on Google+. Since we just got done with a WordPress class here at Creative Live, I thought I would share this today so that everybody could see exactly who you should be following in the WordPress community. So if I go right here to share this circle and I click it, it's going to say, okay, where do you want to share it? Well, I'm going to share it with the public. Okay, I could add different circles or different people. You can also share this with an email address. So you can share this to somebody's email address. If they're not already on Google+, it will invite them to join Google+, and then they will see this post. So that's kind of cool. But in this case, I'm just going to put this out there, and I'll put, just thought I'd share some good folks to follow in the WP community. Thanks to everyone who watched and watch this. This is how you tag people on Google+. I'll put a plus, Creative Live right there. Whoops, not that one. Who watched my Creative Live, there we go, workshop this week. All right, so there we go. So when I do this, I'm going to put this out in the public, and when I click share, if you are following me on Google+ or have me in your circle, you will see that in your stream. All right, now I can't show you my stream here because I don't know exactly what's been posted in there. I don't want to, put anybody's stuff on public area if I don't have to. But that should show up in your stream. If you follow me on Google+, you should see all those people. There's 26 people in there to follow, which is kind of cool. All right, how I got so many followers on Google+, I have, over 2,000 followers. I don't know how many I have now because there's so many people adding me today. But I got to that number because someone who has a whole lot of followers shared me in a circle one day. And they were like, here's my Photoshop trainer circle. When they shared that, my numbers went through the roof. So if you can start posting stuff on here, get yourself, kind of thrown into the mix as a thought leader in a given area, whether it be photography, graphic design, whatever it might be, people could then put you in a circle. If they share that circle and they have a big audience, that brings more people to you. Okay? Now, Google Plus has become almost like the de facto place for creatives. And there you go. You can see the circle that I shared. It's on my profile now. So there's the circle that I just shared. And so Google Plus has become the de facto place for creatives and photographers, I think, to kind of hang out. And literally hang out as well as Google Plus hang out. And we just did a Google Hangout during lunch. And basically, what that allows you to do is kind of video chat with people in real time on the web, right within Google+. And the photographers that are making use of Google+ are really just making it happen. They've made it a cool place to be. And so people like, Trey Radcliffe, Jerry McCowart, Rick Salmon, all these different people that are on Google+. Rick did a great HDR hangout not too long ago. He does all kinds of hangouts on here where he actually will teach you stuff or talk to you about stuff. Trey will sit down and walk you through processes of how he took a photo or how he processed a photo. RC Concepcion, he goes through and talks about some of the ways he takes his HDR photos. There's all kinds of people that are utilizing the Hangout feature on Google Plus to reach out to the community and teach people stuff. So whether or not you want to build an audience here, this is a great learning tool for you as well. All right? But if you want to get into this and start building up a profile, now we're going to talk about exactly how to do that. Okay? So the first step here is, of course, to fill out the About area of your page. Okay? So you just fill out all of this stuff, and you can tie it in, with all these other links and stuff over here on the right-hand side. And if I clicked Edit Profile, you can see here I can go in and I can modify all these different areas. There's my standard bio that I use, of course, and I can do all this other stuff. Change. When I hover over it, it indicates I can change it. All right? When I'm done, I hit Done Editing, and that's it. It's all self-contained. That's what I love. I don't ever have to leave anywhere inside of Google+. Everything's very well done, very clean, very simple. In order to customize this area here, I have built myself a little template that I use time and time again, and I'll show you how to create your own right now. Okay, it's very, very simple. And so let's go ahead and do that now. So I'm going to go in, and you can do this inside of any image editing application that has the ability to create a new document of a certain size. Okay, any application that has the ability to do it is a certain size. You don't have to do it inside of Photoshop or anything else. You can do this in Photoshop Elements. You can do it inside of Illustrator. You can do it anywhere you want. Okay, I'm going to go into the File menu, and choose open here. And I've got my G+ template out here on the desktop. All right, let's blow this up. And consolidate into tabs. There we go. Okay. So basically you have 5 images that go across the top. Okay, 5 images that go across the top. What you need to know is that each one of those images is 134 pixels by 134 pixels. It's an exact square, 134 by 134. So if you add all those together, you get 670 pixels wide. So your Google Plus template needs to be 670 pixels wide by 134 pixels tall. All right, and that's 72 DPI, obviously, because we're on screen. We're not worried about resolution. Okay, so 670 by 134. That will create you a standardized Google Plus template. Then what I have are these squares, and that's nothing more than just individual squares. You can see I can turn them on and off in the layers panel just like this. These individual squares are for each one of my images that I want to use, and I'm going to show you why I split them up into individual images here in just a second, okay? So if I wanted to take a photo, it doesn't matter what photo it is, I can bring that in here and I can turn it into my Google Plus profile. So if I go out and I'll just grab a photo, and I'll do this in real time and change it for you right here. So let's find a decent photograph to use here. I'll use the Oklahoma State Capitol photo, all right? And I'll just copy it and paste it in. Now it's way too big, of course, but, whoa. There we go. All right, so what I'm going to do is just kind of shrink it up so that it fits in that window, and then I'm going to position it wherever I feel like it needs to be. So if I need it to be something kind of like this, it works best with panoramic photos. I'll tell you that right now, okay, because you can get the most content in the window. But you can kind of see, you know, where I'm going with this one. So I'll just do this right here, something like this. Not necessarily the best, you know, version of this photo, but that's okay. Now, you'll also notice that I've put it beneath all those other little layers, right? That way I can turn these boundaries on and off, and I can kind of see, okay, this is where it's going to split, this is where it's going to split, etc. Now, what if I want to take this out on the web? Well, here's what I do. I have a folder that I keep out on my desktop that I call social images, okay? So I'll create social images out here for me. All right, so inside social images, I'll create a new file. I have one for Facebook, I have one for Twitter, I have one for Google+, so I'll call this G+. All right, so there's G+. All right, so I can close that up because I don't need it right now. I'll go back into Photoshop, and you can do this in any image editing program. Check this out. I go to Image 1 right here. If you hold down the Command key on Mac, the Control key on PC, and click the layer thumbnail, don't choose the layer. You want to still be on layer 1 right here, okay? You still want to be on the layer of the picture, but you want to hold down Command on Mac, Control on PC, and click right here. And it chose, oh, it's not going to pick the image because it's too transparent. That's okay. We can fix that. I made mine transparent here so you guys could see the picture through it. Normally they're opaque. So let me show you how to fix that. Okay, 134 by 134. Okay, so we take that and let's just make it black and we'll copy it. Okay, so we'll paste it in. There we go. Command J. Move it over. Command J. Move it over. Command J. Move it over. And Command J. Move it over. All right. Now, I go to this first one here, and I'll Command or Control click on it. Watch this. Creates a little spotlight around it, right? You can actually turn all these off if you want to. They're still there. They're just temporarily hidden. So there's picture number 1. All right. Now I'm going to copy it. And then I'm going to create a new document. And why this is defaulting to this insane zoom level, I have no idea. Okay, there we go. I'll paste it in there. Okay, that's picture number 1. I might even label the layer, pick 1. I'll go back over here, Command or Control click the thumbnail of the second one. See how it just goes right over? I'll copy it, I'll paste it, and that's pick 2. All right. Go to the third one, copy it, paste it, that's pick 3. Go back, and this is the process right here. Just copy, paste, pick 4. And then finally, last but not least, Command and Control click, copy, paste, pick 5. Okay? Now, you don't have to do a panoramic shot that goes all the way across. You could do 5 individual photos that were 134 by 134. It does not matter. Okay? You could also do these just as long as they're square. You can do any kind of photo you want. All right? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just talking about if you wanted the panoramic look, basically. All right? So I'm going to turn these off except for pick 1, and then we'll do Save for Web. So File, Save for Web. Why am I doing Save for Web? Because it's just easier and quicker. Okay? So I'm just going to save it as a JPEG, Social Images, G+, and I'll save this as 1. Save. Turn on this one, Save for Web, 2. Turn on this one, Save for Web, 3. This one, Save for Web. I'm hitting a keyboard shortcut to Save for Web, by the way. It's Shift Option Command on a Mac, Shift Alt Control on a PC, and the letter S. All right, told you I was a keyboard junkie. Basically the entire left side of the keyboard and the letter S. Right, there's 5. All right, so we saved them out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I go back to Google+. I've got those all saved. I'll go to Edit Profile. When I choose Edit Profile, I can hover over these images, and it's kind of hard to see, but when I highlight them, see how it highlights that? Click, and I'll choose Manage Photos. All right, the easiest way to do this is to just keep the 5 photos that you're going to use in here. So I'm going to go through and just delete these out. So I just clicked on one. Okay. I'm going to choose Delete Photo. Okay. Delete Photo. Okay. You can keep the old ones in there if you want to. I just keep these out of here just because I only want one set in there at a time. Just a personal thing with me. I don't know what it is. But anyway, it doesn't take long to delete them. Once you do that, you're good. Hit Add More Photos. Select photos from your computer. Social Images, G+. Select all of these together. Open them up. It's going to go through and it builds up my little panoramic scene. And I'll hit Add Photos. It gives you the option to share these. I don't share these. I don't care. I mean, people can see it when they come to the profile. Then when I go back to my profile picture, there's my panoramic shot all the way across. All right, now again, that's not the best example of a photo to use. You might use like a panoramic shot of the beach or something like that. That works really good, or mountains or whatever it might be. But you see the point. You can also upload individual photos of different pictures and things like that. A lot of photographers use this as a way to showcase multiple photos as opposed to one photo. You can also, you could tile your face across there, tile your logo across there, whatever you wanted to do. It all works the same way. Anytime you want to change that again, you just hit the Edit Profile button. You click here. Manage Photos, and you do the same process. When you're done, you hit Done Editing. So remember, in Photoshop, what we're going to do, or in any image editing application for that matter, you're going to go in, you're going to create a new document that's 670 pixels wide by 134 pixels tall, and then you're going to place each individual image in there, and then you're going to take it one by one out, save it just like I did there. That's if you want the panoramic shot. If you want to do just individual images, just make sure they're square. That's it. Just make sure they're square. If you want each one to be different. Okay? All right. So we've talked about Google Plus a little bit here. Let's talk about YouTube. But before we do, let's take some questions on Google Plus.
So many questions about Google Plus. Question from Carol Tompkins. Can you add hyperlinks to these scrapbook images?
No, unfortunately, you cannot.
Ian Spears would like to know if we can talk about Google Plus short links, creating your personal short links.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like to your profile, I'm assuming that's what he means. So the best place to do that is a site called gplus.to. And basically what you're going to do, Because the Google, look at how big the Google Plus profile link is, okay? This is my Google Plus profile link, plus.google.com/107779254. I mean, good Lord. Are you kidding? So I'm not going to tweet that out. I'm not going to publicize that, right? So if you go to a place like gplus.2, basically what you're allowed to do then is copy just this number right here, just this long string of numbers, and then you paste it in right there to the Google ID, and then you pick a nickname. So like Seeley or Justin or whatever it might be. And so you paste that in there, you paste the number in there, and you hit add, and then it will give you gplus.2 or .to/ your name, and then you can use that as your personal URL. I, on the other hand, have set up my own custom URL shortener through Bitly Pro, and if you want to know how to do that, you can watch the WordPress for Photographers course that we did this week. Shameless
We might
plug.
have crashed the gplus.20 site.
I crashed it?
No, we all did because it's
we all
not
did?
coming up.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry.
So be patient, everyone.
Yeah, it'll be back. So you can set up through Bitly Pro. So for instance, my Google Plus address is always this right here, justn.me/JS on G+. Okay, that's always what it is. And I've memorized that. That way I can tell people, I put it everywhere I go, boom, there it is. Right? And so that's a lot easier than just typing out all that garbage.
A question from Bell Blue. Does Google Plus order the pictures by the name of the file?
It doesn't order, I think it orders it in terms of as they get uploaded. You know what I mean? I do that so that when I'm selecting them, I just know which one is what. It's just a personal thing of mine.
Cheryl Ann asks, how does Google Plus work with our Google Place page? Is it different like Facebook personal profile and our page? If I accidentally set up Google Plus before I knew what it was, can I change it?
I mean, you can always get in there and tweak the Google Plus, profile and all that kind of stuff. It is a completely separate thing from the Google Places page. So, you will have to manage both, unfortunately. But, yeah.
Clarification from P. Diddy.
Yes.
pgomez.net. How do you make the photo go to the main Google Plus page again?
Make the photo go.
I think the header. How do you
make this go somewhere?
be on that?
Oh,
be
how do
on
you
the
make this
homepage?
get on there? Okay. So what you'll have to do, if you don't have this already, let me remove all these and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So let me manage these. And let's delete these real quick. So I believe what we're talking about here is if I don't have anything on there. So if I go back here, if your profile looks like this, in other words, you hit Edit Profile, it'll give you this blank space right here that says Add some photos. And so you choose this, and then you can add a photo, select from your computer, and upload them up there. Okay, same process as before. And then once you're done, just hit Done Editing. You're ready to rock and roll. Okay?
Denise asks, can you use Google Plus for a business presence the same way you can use Facebook, or is it more for just a personal profile and the branding of you yourself?
You can use Google Plus as a page as well. And so on the Google Plus homepage, and let's just hope there's nothing that I can't show on the front page. From the front page, when you log in, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. You can look here, there's a page icon over here. You can hit Manage Pages. And so on Manage Pages, if there's not one, there'll be a link there that says Create Page. And so you can create a new page just like this, and it's the same basic premise as Facebook. So you can go through and do that as well. Yes, ma'am.
I originally, before Google Plus had business pages, I somehow turned my profile one into a business page. And so now I'm wondering, do I need to go back and turn it into...
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I wouldn't think so.
But what I'm noticing is that I don't exist as a person for all the people who are looking for my email address and trying to
okay.
put me in their circles.
Okay, yeah, you might, if that happens, yeah, you might want to go back and just kind of rework that if you can.
Or can I, yeah. Because if they think my profile is my business name,
Yeah,
then I'm not sure how I would create
right.
a personal profile.
Well, what you could do, I mean, you can go in and edit the profile. That when you log into Google Plus, you can go in and edit the profile to make it, back to you. Change it all to your personal information. Yeah, you can change all that stuff. And then what I would do is, or actually, it's in your Google profile. It's not actually on Google Plus. So you have to go like into your little. I won't go in there to show you all my stuff, but you go up in there and do all that stuff and change it up. And then what I would do is go and create your business page like this. Okay. Absolutely. I, on the other hand, I'm of the school of thought that if you're a person, I mean, you're doing it underneath a business, so I get what you're talking about. But I had a debate with a couple of my friends on Google Plus not too long ago. We're individuals, and we do training, and we do all this stuff. And they were creating pages on Google Plus for themselves. And I chimed in, and I said, well, wait, you already have a profile on Google Plus. Why are you creating a separate page? I get why you would have a profile and a page on Facebook, because that way you could be personal but Google Plus in and of itself, as it started so far, has been this gigantic collaborative thing for creative people to come and share and do all this stuff. It's not necessarily a personal place where people talk about what they had for breakfast and stuff, right? So I didn't really understand why they felt the need. I don't feel the need to have a separate page for myself because I'm using Google Plus as a business tool. So I think there's going to be a balance that you're going to have to find there eventually. Some people will, if they want to use it that way.
I only want to use it as a business tool. I only want to use it as a business tool.
Okay,
So
yeah,
should I not bother to go?
Yeah, if you don't want to use it as a personal thing, I wouldn't worry about it then.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry about it.